One of the many good reasons why Kwara State stands like a beacon to serious prospective investors is that it is on record that Kwara State is the only Nigerian state to have received 2 consecutive positive ratings from ratings agency Fitch. Kwara State has gone beyond rhetoric in commercial agriculture, and as far as Nigeria is concerned today, the Kwara State way is the way to go. From the success story at the Malete Youth Farm to the Cinderella story of Shonga, Kwara State continues to make indelible marks in agriculture and the agro-allied industry that will certainly keep it at the forefront of Nigeria's agricultural renaissance. Shonga Farm now supplies over 160,000 birds of poultry daily to eateries across Nigeria. The same farm supplies about 90% of the raw materials to a milk manufacturer, with several others signifying their willingness to patronize the farm for their raw materials.
We understand that foreign direct investment will create jobs for our teeming youths, which are 70% of the population. So we must be able to do things for them. We see that agriculture is going to assist us as well, and that's why we're diverting a lot of our interests into agriculture.
Thinking about the success of the Shonga farm, now going over there to Molite indicates that, well, we've seen the model here, we can replicate it. Now, if we do that in other parts of the state, you can imagine what's going to happen. What simply will happen is that people will now be able to see that investment in agriculture really will be able to give us the mileage. And then you can talk of ancillary industries that will develop along that line. You are talking of packaging, you are talking of canning, you are talking of preservation and all that. All these are the whole works, the value chain that all of them will be able to bring about.
The 5-year agricultural modernization master plan for Kwara State. This master plan sets the framework to make Kwara State the agribusiness hub for Nigeria and for West Africa. And let me tell you one essential part. You see, that's why planning, when you say policy, the policy framework for agriculture is set. We know exactly what the policy framework is. Based on that policy framework, we have come up with a 5-year master plan. And this master plan, a section of it actually detailed what we would do year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. And that's why you have here timeline, right? And if you go into the timeline, you now have, say, here you have what we'll be doing in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So we already know what we are going to do. So, and this is a 5-year plan which terminates in 2016. Do you understand what I'm saying? His Excellency's tenure is to 2015. Even if he's going to do second term or anyone comes in, you can take this plan and work with it. Wherever we stopped, another person can continue. So when you talk of consistency, we are providing the framework for consistency, irrespective of government, irrespective of politics. This is not politics.
Kwara has very good support services, most especially in the banking sector, with several branches of the commercial banks and the Nigerian Stock Exchange (NSE) recently opened in Ilorin to drive commerce and industrial development. Kwara State has taken steps to secure a regular supply of power, particularly for its industrial estates. The work done on the Gomo substation has had the effect of ensuring close to 24 hours of electricity per day.
The aging electrical switchgear that belonged to PHCN, which were so problematic, were replaced, as you are all aware, by the Gomo substation, and that has improved electricity. I remember that the improvement was so much and so good that we had to shut down our generators for several months.
In the same vein, many remote areas and villages have received power to maintain the leverage that the state currently enjoys, with contracts already awarded for the supply and installation of several transformers as the state government begins to invest in transmission and distribution of power. Adequate infrastructure plays a vital role to any investor looking to start a business. Basic physical and organizational structures are needed for the profitable and efficient operation of any commercial venture. In addition, Kwara has been investing heavily in its infrastructure with upgrading of the Ilorin International Airport, which is now a fully fledged international facility able to handle significant volume of cargo. The administration has also continued the massive creation of rural roads to open up the hinterland for both human and produce movement, while the urban roads are being continuously expanded and renovated under the governor's Operation No Potholes. The International Aviation College, which recently began operations in Ilorin, the state capital, is one novel idea poised to be a pace setter in the aviation sector of the country. The college is the second of its kind on the West African coast, the only one owned by a state government in Nigeria, and which will train pilots of all sorts. The Aviation College will provide specialist training for airplane pilots to meet the high local and international demand necessitated by the continuous growth of the aviation industry, and also provide training needed for helicopter piloting, a skill very much in demand in the oil industry in Nigeria. The college will also offer training in aviation support, expert fields such as engineering, cabin crew training, air traffic control, and other aviation sector manpower that is in constant demand worldwide. Kwara State is responsible for the initial financial outlay to establish the International Aviation College IAC, but intends seeking private investors to take equity in the undertaking once it is up and running.
Lagos State invited us. We had a presentation that we did to Lagos State. Kogi invited us, which we've been to Kogi. We did a presentation there. Kano is very excited about sending a lot of students. They've indicated their willingness to train to up to 50 pilots. So I have had a word with the governor of Cross River State and the governor of Delta State. When they set up a situation where we're able to do them a presentation, we are hoping that with state government sponsoring their students, with private students coming in, we just hope that we'll be able to cope with the inflow of students. So the strategy is, first of all, a quick turnover, get more students in, and also a marketing drive to go into all the states. And the next stage after that is to go to West Africa.
So even the skills are geared towards the commercial activities. Look at the Aviation College, for example. We're looking at ourselves being the hub of aviation, the cargo shed. The Aviation College is designed for the cargo shed. We're going to train people in aviation issues, not only to be able to fly planes, mechanical part and all of that. So Kwara State is really going to become the hub in terms of aviation and cargo shed. You know, this were the middle of both the south and the north. So we're taking advantage of that.